These are heavier than expected. I say this every time, don't I? I've got two, well, you could call them both, essentially. Just turn that down a bit. Freemartin heifers, which can't be got in calf. One of them is definitely a real Freemartin, and the other one I just can't get in calf. I don't really think she's a Freemartin, but it's near enough. Same thing. And they're both. One is 3-year-old now, and the other's getting on 4. I think these will make good money. When I first saw it, when they're in with the other cows, they look a little bit small. They're not tremendously fit, but they're not bad. But when you have them in the trailer, well, when I was loading them, they were bloody heavy. Quite big. They're not terribly opinionated. They're not the type that are going to sort of have a go at you, but they don't like being handled. Didn't like being penned up and that. So they'll have fun with them. Anyway, I wanted to get off by 9, and I was setting off at 10 to 9, so that's alright. Foggy up here though. My trailer, the rear lights work. There's like, what do you call them, running lights on the side. And the bottom, there's 2 at the front. One at the bottom works. Well, the ones at the bottom work. The ones at the top, they aren't working at the moment, but they do sometimes work. But the bottom ones, say, are on, but they're not very, don't look very bright to me. Well, they wouldn't do it. Although it's foggy, it's not really dark, is it? I think if it was dark, they would be bright enough. So I'm not that bothered about the top ones, though. I'd rather they were working. But see, I'm not entirely convinced that the bottom ones are right. But that might be something to do with, I don't know, bad earth or something. And that's a common problem with trail lights, the earth. Well, you'd have thought that might have made more things that go wrong. Anyway, when I first got this trailer, I thought those cables that run up the front to the top running lights looked a bit vulnerable. So this is like default for up here through winter, thick fog blowing across the road. It's sort of alright at first, but by the time you've been staring at fog for like 10 miles, half an hour nearly, or 20 minutes anyway, maybe not that much, whatever, by the time you've been staring, it makes your eyes go slightly funny. Sometimes it almost seems better if you actually have sunglasses on. It's like, especially maybe polarising ones, because it just gives a bit more contrast. You're just looking at this sort of white, it's not glaring white. I wasn't really in the mood for going today, because I'd been, well, Sunday was penning sheep day, Monday was taking them day, and sorting these out. So, frankly, I could do with a lazier day than I'd work. But once they're in the trailer, it's not that big a job taking them. I quite enjoy it, to be honest, normally. But it's just I had cattle on Friday as well. It's not a lot of fun coming out of here when it's foggy either, because you can't accelerate that fast. Your head's going both ways like 19 to the dozen. There's he came on there just as I was coming out. Well, he's more a committed end, you can't stop or reverse. I wonder if those people parked there now are staying there. It's only 9 o'clock, it's like breakfast time if you're B&Bing. To see. When you did eventually go, it was not a particularly sensible place to go, in my opinion. I think I would have been straight past, more or less. Even with this, without the trailer on. Because it's obvious I've got a heavy load on the back that I'm not going to go much faster than 40 anyway on this foggy, bumpy road. Yeah, see, if you'd waited till here, you could see perfectly well. See what I thought he would do. I don't really like having the headlights on because I've got this has like front running lights that they've actually surprisingly bright. More than once I've got in it at night and practically forgot to put the headlights on because these running lights are like tipped headlights. Bloody hell. Is it with him? Yeah. Why he stopped, I don't know. There's loads of plenty of room. He must have a hell of a load of muck or so, did he? They say he's trying to set off again. Maybe it's just a young lad on it. Get to oh god, there's a tractor ahead. By about 10 o'clock the sort of shoppers and all are coming out, so you might be better going back the other way. I get the feeling that big tractor and trailer might be going to this farm on the right at the Siddington Crossroad. The thing is, a lot of these tractors these days, they do 40 kph, it's not all that slow. It's quite difficult to get past it with a trailer on, you could do it with it empty. You won't be going that far, that's for sure. So at this point I'd probably rather just hang back a bit. So anyone else can get past with a car. If they want to say we're doing 40 mile an hour, it's quite surprising. I'm reasonably happy with that, to be honest. If you're going to turn off, see that farm ahead, it looks like you have a marquee, but it's some sort of a ship pit. I think he might be going in there, it's just a guess. But if not, he won't be going through Pickering, he might be going to Relton way. I might get past him going down the hill, but I daren't try it here. The trouble is I'll soon be down to second if not careful. No, he's not going there. Oh, yes he is. Good guess, you see. Just a bit slow putting his right indicator on, I'd have had it on sooner. because you know, you might reasonably try and use these extra lanes to overtake. I thought he'd be from there. So, what fuel price will be here today? It's been 192 in Gisborough, 185.9 in Italy, in Whitby, and here it was about 188 last Friday. Has it gone down or has it gone up? It's still the same, 189. How can they all be so different? Whitby shouldn't be cheaper than Pickering. And of course, that one's 89, was it 89.9? So they all will be. The other two as well, the far end. It's rather bizarre. There's they have two on the opposite side of the road. Do you know, I'm not even sure. A number of times I've been past it, they're the same company, just on each side of the road because it's more convenient for people going in and out. I don't know really. Yeah, but it's quite an unusual arrangement because petrol stations, they aren't as numerous as they used to be, are they? So why is there two opposite each other in Pickering? Now you see, one's Spar and one's BP, but they still have exactly the same price. They must have agreed to always do that. They must ring each other up every time they want to change. It's been quiet along here this morning. It's the sort of feeling you get when the road's closed ahead because there's been an accident or so. Well, there might have been. Oh, is the A64 closed? That's what it could be. But then I thought they were diverting people onto this one, so it could be busier. They're doing some sort of major resurfacing on the A64 between more at the Scarborough end, as far as I know. I really don't know which area they're doing, because I hardly ever go on it. I couldn't even name most of the villages on it. And then this bit through here, but I probably won't do it this time because I've said that too. I said it last time, but it does. It always looks pretty through here, even at any season actually. It's very sort of Christmas cardy, isn't it? If you imagine those trees covered in frost, which is quite common, as you get into more into December. And you know, we can still be bringing cattle into December quite often. We're loaded and away by 10. We're going back the other way, which I think it's slightly quicker this way. Because I'm going probably nearly 10 miles an hour faster, every time you need to accelerate, you can accelerate quicker. This little village is a mother bee. We're already in it, really. I suppose we are. Some quite nice houses actually, and in the trees there, quite an unusual church. It's described as extremely ugly, but it's quite got some age to it in places. I did stop and have a look at it not that long ago. What's all these cyclists must be having a lesson or something. This is the worst part of this road. It's quite narrow along here. If you suddenly meet out big, like a tractor or a big wagon, there's barely room really, because this trailer's a bit wide. It's about 6 inch wider than the previous one. There's just certain places where it really makes a difference. But once you get past this bridge, really, it's not too bad. Because it's sort of windy and bumpy, and it's actually inclined to flood sometimes down here. You can't. Well, I've seen it with not the river it's per se, but the ditch is like backed up and overflowing on the road because the river was high. It's not like that at the moment, but. I mean, the river's actually quite low at the moment for the time of year, because it's very, it's like a slow motion river. It reacts like days after the rain. You see it go up there, but we just haven't really had the rain yet here. We've had 4 millimetres last night. That won't do. Because November is usually our wettest month. I think my average at home it's if it's not 100 millimetres, it's very close to it, and it's actually that's the wettest month of the year on average. Oh, unexpected. You don't see small bales very often at all nowadays. For horticulture. A bit improper through the junction, but there's an outcoming, so let's sweep across it quick. It's a dangerous junction, that. They really ought to be redoing the lane markings on it. Sorry when you know it. Oh, my feet are cold. Why is that? 1 foot is feels cold. Very strange. I've got it on, it's on 21 degrees. I've just moved it up a couple of degrees. It's well, it's actually clever, not really, to make people who are following you look at an advert. I don't suppose it's a Halford's wagon. No, it says something else. Brett's. with a wagon like that, you've got to be very careful of low branches as well as width of it. So there's times where he wants to be tucked into the verge, he can't cut as a branch there. Looks like he's going to go all the way up Blakey. I thought he might have a delivery in Hutley Hall. We'll be able to get past him further up, I would think. He's pulling there for his phone, I would think. But I was being able to overtake him will be at some point quite soon. It's going alright up here today anyway, because last time I had a bit of a headwind, and sometimes it's almost just the mood when you don't want to bowl it on, and I kept finding I couldn't keep going in fifth, but it's doing it fine today. So it must have been mainly the wind. Because usually if you keep your momentum up, you can keep cracking on at least 50 miles an hour most of the way. The fog's retreating to the very highest ground. A tiny bit of sunshine down in Westerdale. Though the sun shines on the righteous. That's actually quite spectacular, isn't it? I won't show very well on this tiddly-piddly camera with a very wide lens. The fog is scudding across at sort of 1,000 feet level, as it so often does, a bit low, a bit higher maybe. And beyond that it's actually sunny spells. They must be sort of moving in, assuming the sun still has a bit of strength in it, without the wind shifting it.